Hey there everyone, welcome to Violet's Dream Tarot. So today we're going to be doing a reading that is urgent messages from your guides, from your spiritual team, from whoever wants to come through. What's interesting for me is that on the pile markers, I pulled these cards at random. I just was shuffling and waited for them to come out for each pile, as I always do when I use cards on piles. And what they've all come out as are Ascended Masters. So sometimes when I use this particular deck, I get a mixture of Ascended Masters, Angels, and Deities. Sometimes I get maybe all Angels, but this time it's all Ascended Masters coming through, so I think that's really interesting. What also really interests me is the fact that the mandalas that are showing up are all pretty much the same shape, but they're all different colors as well, and obviously the Ascended Masters are different too. So that is something I'm going to talk about in a moment. But first I want to say a big thank you to all of my lovely subscribers and to all of my lovely patrons as well, including Alexandra, Kelly, Mia, Joan, Nicole and Cara. Thank you so much to each and every one of you for your kindness and the support that you show to this channel. On Patreon, when I release this video, changes will have come into effect. I will have already launched the astrology tier, so if anyone is interested in learning astrology or expanding upon their knowledge of astrology, do head over to Patreon. The link is in the description box and also in the comment that I post below in the comments section, because I'm going to be posting some detailed posts every month about particular astrological topics, and then what I'm going to be doing is expanding upon those posts while looking specifically at what's going on in the birth charts of patrons. So if that's something that you're interested in, if you want to learn more about your birth chart and what astrology means and how you can use it as a tool, then do consider heading over to Patreon. The astrology tier will be for anyone in the Violet Knight tier and above, and pricing will also have changed on Patreon by the time I post this video as well, to reflect the amount of work and time that I put into that page. So that goes for existing patrons as well. But the Violet Knight tier is the tier where you get access to all astrology posts, all other posts and videos, the ability to participate in polls, and also monthly entry into a free reading prize draw. And we draw that on the last day of the month, every single month, and then obviously everyone in tiers above that also gets those benefits as well as others. So definitely go and check it out. There's lots of tiers available for whatever interests you really, and what your position is. So really excited about that. Super excited to share this with my existing patrons and with anyone else who would like to join. I would love to see you over there. So let's look more closely at the piles now. As I said, we're getting urgent messages from your spiritual team, so this could be about any area of your life. I really like doing these readings where I don't have a particular question in mind, because it leaves it open for people to come in who just want to receive a message from spirit and maybe don't have a particular question, or people who do have a question and are just wondering what spirit has to say about the situation in their life right now, or the energies surrounding them. So we'll look at the piles more closely. On group 1, we have got this sort of white color. It's number 19, Ascended Master Serapis Bay and Clear Calcite. The message is Karmic Grace, and we will be using the Tarot in Wonderland for group 1. So ask yourself, what messages do my spiritual team or my guides have for me? What message does the universe have for me? Spirit, source, whatever you want to call it. The Ascended Masters obviously are going to play a big part in this reading. On group 2 we have number 24, Ascended Master Mary Magdalene and Aqua Aura Quartz, Divine Alchemy. We also have the Circle of Life Tarot for group 2. What's interesting to me as well is that each of these cards have come out with a different starter digit that ends up as 1, 2, 3. That's incredible for me. So on group 3 we've got 36, Ascended Master Mataji and Crimson Cupright, Relief and Repair, and we will be using the Everyday Witch Tarot for group 3. So take your time with that, pick where you're feeling drawn towards, pick based on your intuition, because that will give you the most accurate answer to your question, and that's obviously what we're looking for in today's reading. I also want to say a big thank you to Raj. She has donated another deck to the channel. She's donated a few so far, and they're really lovely and beautiful. And so today's deck that is new is the beautiful Gateway of Light Activation Oracle. Really looking forward to using it. There are some gorgeous messages and really beautiful images to be seen here, and I think it fits perfectly with our reading topic today. So take your time, choose based on your intuition, pause the video or go back to the start of the video if you need more time, or if you want to see the close-ups of the piles again. And when you're ready, I will start with pile number 1. Hey there, Group 1. Welcome to your reading. If you chose number 19, Ascended Master Serapis Bay and Clear Calcite, Karmic Grace, and then also the Tarot in Wonderland, this is going to be your pile. So let's see what messages your guides and spiritual team have for you. And obviously Ascended Master Serapis Bay. Ascended Masters have shown up very clearly in this reading, so you might see them in further cards throughout the reading as well. But firstly, let's look at this card and just read the introduction. So we bring you the blessing of karmic grace. There are many ways to learn and grow. Some ways are joyful and some more challenging. Sometimes a challenge can best be resolved through profound struggle that forces you to transform in such a way that you can never go back to what has been. The struggle might have been deeply painful for the mind, body, and emotions, and yet what is gained from that experience is a multiplicity of blessings: personal power, freedom, insight, self-respect, and wisdom. These qualities then help you live a better life where that past pain need not be repeated. Blessings can at other times be gained through joyful experience. Sometimes the struggle is what will bring you the greatest spiritual progress. Sometimes a more joyful path will be how you grow best. The universe loves you with such passion that you shall never be denied what you most need and what shall help you fulfill your divine destiny. I think that's a lovely, lovely message, especially for those of you who have recently been through struggles, which I know is quite a lot of you. Some of you still going through struggles, some of you just, I guess, struggling to get your life back on an even keel again after a hugely transformative experience. Let's get your tarot. I would love it if you could subscribe as well, Group 1, if you haven't already. That really supports me, and it means that you never miss out when I upload a video either. So here we've got the King of Cups. We also have, the King of Swords. So 2 kings right next to each other. Wow. And the 2 of Pentacles. So interesting. The King of Swords and the King of Cups, those could be referring to 2 different guides who are coming through for you. All of the air and water signs are showing up. So Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. And there is really a message here of like balance. Finding balance between your head and heart, between logic and emotions. That's what I see very clearly with the King of Swords and King of Cups. But also look at how these cards are portrayed. Like we've got the King of Hearts, but he's sort of lost at sea. We've got the King of Swords shown as Humpty Dumpty, who's sat on the wall, and we all know that he does fall off. So there is that message of trying to keep balance between logic and emotion and not having either one completely toppled over and then become overwhelmed with the situation. And that's what the 2 of Pentacles talks about, is keeping your head above water, essentially. And that can come in many forms. It can sometimes be a work-life balance. It can sometimes be trying to be sort of logical and rational without completely detaching yourself from how you feel or denying how you feel. Sometimes that can come in with decision making, where we struggle to know whether to follow our head or our heart. So sometimes maybe, if it's possible, a compromise is what works best. We have Strange Valentine, Love is Strange, number 27, and also with it being 2 kings on display, it could be that you're struggling to pick between 2 options romantically, whether that means 2 literal people that you're not sure who to choose between, who would be the best option for you, or whether it's more metaphorically, like you don't know whether it's the right time for you in love, or whether you should be focusing on something else, or you don't know whether to stay with a partner or take a step back. This is basically a message of you feeling confused by your emotions right now, or just confused by the whole idea of love. Deep listening. It's this beautiful card that's coming up. Deeply listening to, I guess, both your heart and head, your heart and mind. Deeply listening to all sides of a situation, deeply listening to the messages that Spirit is giving you. Because I do sense that there are downloads coming in but that unless you can find this sort of equilibrium / middle ground and tread it, you might risk not hearing them because you're so flooded with thoughts and worries, or you're so flooded with out of control emotions that you don't trust what's coming through to you, or you're not sure what to focus on, whether it's you just making things up or whether it really is a true download from spirit. So if you can connect to your heart and get to this place of peace through meditation, through prayer, even sometimes if you struggle to do that, when you're sort of falling asleep, that can be a time where you can connect and just kind of ask for guidance when you are starting to lose that grip on your head and your emotions as you're falling asleep. If you're struggling during the waking time to sit down without your heart pounding or your mind racing, then that might be a way to go about it. We have faith, humanity, and benevolence. Stay calm. Trust the good in yourself and others. See the light in the world. I love this card. I love the colours of it. It's so peaceful and so calm. But I think it also fits when you feel like you're spiraling mentally, or like there's so much going on that you can't control. It's a lovely card to get. And I wanted to get 2 cards from this deck. So we also have Odin, Psychic Insight. Your third eye is open. See truth for what it is. Trust your intuition. So that is really nice because, like I said, I felt that you were probably feeling led astray by your emotions or by your thoughts, and you were unsure of what to believe in terms of intuition. So that's just telling you can still trust your insights. Try not to second guess yourself by thinking, am I making this up? Is this a coincidence that I'm seeing these numbers, or that I am feeling drawn down this path? If it feels right for you and there's no gut reaction, there's just your brain thinking, is this the right option? Is this the right thing for me? Then I would say follow it. Overflow, yes, overwhelm and plenty, number 43. So this is definitely coming for you at a time, group 1, when you are really feeling overwhelmed by thoughts, worries, and deep emotions. I'm pretty sure that's the case for a lot of us at this particular time when I'm posting the video, but especially for you, you seem to be very caught up with your mind racing, and this is probably a long-standing thing, not something that's only just developed. It's like you're just reaching burnout, or your tensions are really, really rising and you're not quite sure how to manage that or handle that in the best possible way. There's like a message here of, how do I cope with my strong emotions or my high sensitivity? How do I cope with my anxious mind? Your message from the Divine Feminine, gorgeously, is Lakshmi, bright future. Stop worrying, everything is going to be fine. And I think that fits so nicely with the Faith card. Stay calm and trust. See the light in the world. Those all fit with the lovely image of Lakshmi there. Stop worrying. I know that's obviously easier said than done, but sometimes it can be easier to feel calmer when we have that little bit of reassurance or that little bit of validation coming through from the universe. And like I said, if it's coming through in your thoughts or feelings, you might struggle to be trusting it. So that may be why you've turned to a reading. And then the Divine Masculine for you says Dienkircht. Number 8, prevention. So Dienkircht is a Celtic god. He's the healer of the Celtic deities. He's a druid, druid of the gods. And he comes through with the message of prevention. So for those of you who don't know anything about his folklore, I'm just going to round it up really quickly and say that he was, is the healer god of the Celts, and he had a son called Miach, who was even more talented than him when it came to the healing arts. And Dienkircht, while being a healer, had something within him triggered by this, and he didn't want his son to become better than him, so he ended up killing his son and thereby robbing people of the healing wisdom that Miach could have provided with them. So DNK continues to be a healer, but there's also this essence of like the ego stopping us doing what's best for everyone, or the ego stopping us from doing what's best for ourselves. So there is that message there inherent in this card. But prevention also comes through in the form of preventative measures, preventative medicine. You know, it could be preventing yourself from doing something that would be positive for you, just like DNK prevented his son from being able to share his gift with the world. But as I said, DNK is also a healer, so he was and still is invoked for preventative medicine. So to stop someone from catching an illness, or to stop someone from suffering further complications from a wound, for example. So there's that word prevention in both senses of the word, preventing a positive and preventing a negative. And you need to ask yourself, am I preventing myself from spiraling, or am I preventing myself from living? What's the truth here? Archangel Raphael says, home help. Dear God and Archangel Raphael, thank you for giving me the courage to ask for and accept help from you, the angels, and others in matters regarding my family and home. Okay, so some of you might have concerns about your home security, or you might be looking to move home, or there might be an atmosphere at home. Maybe you live with people that you don't get along with, and you just really want that assurance or protection. So Archangel Raphael is saying, you can count on me for that. You can invoke me to provide a smoother atmosphere at home, or to help you with your move, or to help you feel more secure in your home as well. Whatever your concerns are there, if it's even maybe about affording bills and things, the angels are just a prayer away, basically, is what that card's saying. Then we have number 26, it's always tea time. Eternity, endless moments, repetition. So this feeling of like a situation dragging on for you. And that was what I felt with the sort of worry message, that it wasn't something that's just crept up on you all of a sudden, but it's actually something that's quite long-standing for you. This feeling of situations being repeated, of patterns being unbroken, of boredom, restlessness, frustration. That's all inherent within that card. Even apathy and indifference. Archangel Michael says, let go of fear now. Archangel Michael, please help me feel safe and deserving of your guidance. Thank you for clearing me of heavy, toxic, or ego-based thoughts and feelings. How perfect is that with your reading? So a lot of very soothing, comforting messages coming in from your guides of please don't worry, or please try to put the worries and fears to one side. It's going to be okay. You are safe. You're protected. And the masculine and feminine coming through as this healing, encouraging presence, but also to ask yourself, where am I limiting myself? What can I do to prevent myself from feeling worse, etc.? What measures can I take to stop myself spiraling? In the flow, everything is smooth sailing. I love that card. That's so gorgeous. So that's again to remind yourself of the things that are going well for you. As I said, when you're in a time of anxiety, you can really sort of latch onto things that aren't going so well, and that can really become all-encompassing for you. You can struggle to see beyond the things that aren't going well. It can feel like everything's just going wrong. So try and consciously remind yourself of the things that are going well for you, or the things that maybe are within your control. You have the Ageless Witch, number 1. If I just read the guidebook entry here, it says the ageless witch grows richer in inner strength and beauty. In maturity, her looks belie her age, and she is ever young at heart. She never loses her dignity or kindness. You possess these qualities. You are the object of someone's delight. They do desire you. You will discover the key to secret knowledge, including the power of self-reflection, contemplation, understanding, and love. So this is for those of you that are maybe anxious about how someone feels about you, if someone's sort of gone quiet a little bit, or if someone is making you consider whether or not they actually care about you, that's a message that in fact they do. And also that you have so much to offer, you have so much that is special and unique. The Earth Elementals say, achte auch das Kleine, alles im Leben hat die Bedeutung, die du bereit bist, ihm zu geben. That's a really cute little card with a little baby Earth Elemental there. It says, pay attention also to the small things. Everything in life has the significance that you are prepared to give to it. So, like I said, with this card, you know, if you overlook things that you are grateful for or that you do have and that you do care about, it can become very easy to just focus in on what you feel is going wrong or on what you don't want to happen. When you're focused instead on the things that you're grateful for or the things that are significant to you, even if they're small, that will be a real comfort to you and help you to just bring your presence back into the now. Your ancestors say shine brightly, stand out, be proud, individuality, so don't dim your light, and honor the deities around you, prayers, offerings, help. So obviously we have three deities showing up in this reading. You've got Odin, Lakshmi, and then also Dienkhecht, so that could point you in the direction of who to honor. But also, of course, the patron gods that you work with on a daily basis or a regular basis, or anyone that you feel a particular connection with. This might now be the time to start exploring working with patron gods, if that's something that you've held off on because you've been a little bit unsure or you've not really been sure how to get started with it. Now is the time to start. That's an encouragement. Start exploring who might be around you, who you feel a connection with. Explore ways in which you can connect, maybe through prayer, through offerings, through meditation. From the gorgeous new deck from the lovely Raj, we have Thoth Light Codes, Light Initiation, Great Teacher Awakening, Divine Magic. So there is another deity. I'm actually surprised that you have such a preponderance of the Divine Masculine, because obviously you've got a male Ascended Master with Serapis Bay, and then you've gotten Thoth, Odin, Dienkhecht. And you have Anunnaki Light Codes, Energetic Shift, New Information, End of a Cycle. So some very powerful energies in this sense. Divine Magic, Light Initiation, new beginnings, new cycles, new information being, in a sense, decoded into your being. I like the message of Great Teacher Awakening as well. That suggests that you can be a mentor to others or that you have something really special to share. Four of Raphael, Four of Cups, seek out other possibilities. Look for the magic in life and be aware of your own emotions. So we have Divine Magic on this card, but the Four of Raphael really fits this It's Always Tea Time card. Of feeling unfulfilled, feeling bored, restless, frustrated. Whoa. Okay, then we have Gazelle and Peacock coming through as spirit animals. I really wanted to be as comprehensive as I could in covering your guides. So we've gone for Ascended Masters, patron deities, spirit guides, ancestors, angels, as many people as we could get, basically. So let's look for these cards in the guidebook. Gazelle is a fire energy animal, first of all. Heightened awareness and ability, vulnerable. Yeah, okay, this makes sense. The gazelle represents supreme grace. With every move, this awe-inspiring beauty emits sophistication and elegance. Gazelle personalities are often hyper-aware of their surroundings, bordering on hyper-vigilant, and this can inhibit them from enjoying the beauty they've spent so much effort cultivating. No more worrying about all those predators out there in the wild. When this card appears, it's time to get back to the present moment. Sit down, find your breath, and acknowledge the bounty that surrounds you. Let it nourish your gentle spirit. How perfect is that? When in balance, this person is graceful, perceptive, and artistic. When out of balance, they experience food allergies, insomnia, and a racing mind. And to bring themselves back into balance, they need to engage in yin yoga, have a cozy home, and eat good food. There's very strong Virgo energy, in my opinion, that comes through with that card. And then Peacock. Let's look for Peacock. It would really be helpful if this guidebook was ordered alphabetically. Okay, inner beauty, compassion, assimilator of anything. The beauty of the peacock is unrivaled. It's easy to think it comes from the plumage, but the secret of the peacock is that the beauty resides within and extends outwardly indefinitely. This adept creature can assimilate or digest all experiences in life, so it does not harbour resentment, conflict, or past pain within its psyche. The peacock type is extremely rare. Not many of us have reached this advanced level of acceptance of the self and others. When in balance, this person is confident and kind. When out of balance, they can't digest situations. And to bring themselves back into balance, they need to meditate on the navel. So the sort of sacral chakra area. So let's get one more card and then we'll do your charms and dice group 1. Okay, so your message here is full moon in Aquarius, be real. So don't censor yourself or try to be anything other than who you are. There's no need to pretend that you're not feeling the way you do, or to pretend to be something else to, you know, appease others or try and fit in. Be real about who you are and how you feel. So let's do your charms. Okay, so we have yet another deity showing up here in the form of Hermes or Mercury, the Greco-Roman god of messengers, travel, everything else. He's a god of so many things. Interestingly, you've got 2 letters which do actually spell a word. You've got I and F. So if, and that really, I think, fits with this feeling that I get from your energy of you being really focused on the what ifs. Like, what if this happens? What if that happens? What if they're thinking this about me? What if this doesn't go to plan, etc.? And that's something to really try and consciously take a step back from now, because the message from Spirit is really that your fears are normal, or your feelings are normal. The anxiety you're experiencing around your situation is normal, and you shouldn't negate that and try and tell yourself that you're being silly or that you're being wrong or weak or anything to feel that way, but that those fears are unfounded, because whatever the situation is in your life, it's going to resolve peacefully, or it's going to resolve in a way that is happy for you, or a way that you would be happy with. So that's just something to remind yourself of when you find yourself spiraling and having your mind racing, like the gazelle energy there. So let's look now at your other charms. We've got the bat, which is also symbolic of fear and the shadow self. We have the bird in the birdhouse. This is when you want more support from others, maybe more socializing or just having more people around you. We also have the diva bunny, which is a really comforting charm to get here, because this is the mountain out of a molehill charm, the much ado about nothing charm. When your mind is making a situation much bigger than it actually is objectively, or much bigger than it needs to be for you right now. You know, you might have fixated yourself, for example, on a particular outcome happening that you desperately don't want to happen at the end of a situation, and it's becoming all you can think about. and, you know, something that you've really fixated on. But the message here is it's not going to happen, or it's not going to be anywhere near as bad as you're expecting it to be. So just breathe and just try your best to detach from those thoughts and catch yourself when you're thinking them, and hold your hand up to yourself and say, look, I'm choosing to think differently now, or I'm choosing to focus my mind elsewhere. I've said it before on the channel, but when you find that you're getting, what are they called? I've forgotten what they're called. When you get visualizations in your mind that you don't want to see, or you get thoughts popping up that you don't want to see or don't want to hear, you can just hold up your hand and say delete, 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 because that's you acknowledging that you've received those messages. So your brain is not going to think that you haven't heard them and therefore keep sending them. But it's also you saying, I don't want this in my energy, please remove it. That can be helpful for you. We've got analyzing, insight showing up here. We've also got the lantern, being guided to a better outcome, being shown the way through the darkness. We have listened to your inner wisdom, your intuition. The owl, this is also Athena or Minerva's symbol there with the owl. And then we have the lobster, which is saying that you can do anything. Basically, you've got the strength and the resilience and the willpower and endurance to get through this situation. Also, if you have anything else coming through for I or F or both, then please do take that on board. For example, I also see like FYI with that, or I see, it might not be relevant to anyone, but the French word if, also spelled IF, means you, as in the yew tree, and that's symbolic of the ending of cycles, death and rebirth, etc., permanence. So those might be things to think about as well. And obviously, if there's anything else in your language or anything that you can think of, do note it below. It can also be initials or just any other words that might come to you. So we'll do your dice now as well, group 1, to finish up your reading. So we're rolling the 5th set of dice for you, the actions dice. Let me just get those. Okay. And we're rolling 2 of them for you. So. Group 1. Oh, literally, okay, we've got the person who is like looking around the corner with their hands over their eyes, too afraid or frightened to see what is in the future, or too afraid to acknowledge maybe the changes they need to make, or the decisions they need to make, or the action that they need to put in order to get themselves to their goal or their ideal lifestyle. So there's really a fear here of the future, of making big changes and decisions, of what might be coming your way. Like there's just a real fear of change, I think, which is a message I've been getting for the collective recently, this fear of getting out of the comfort zone and making big changes and starting to live again. And then here we've got the person who's trying hard to reach the cup. So this is where you feel like you are either trying really hard to do something or trying hard to reach something that's outside of your reach or outside of your control. So just don't quite push yourself too far is what I would say with this. Like you can, try and implement changes, behavioral changes, etc. You can try and implement new thought patterns, but don't overwhelm yourself with it. Don't make, for example, checking in with spirit be like another chore for you that doesn't bring you much benefit because you're only doing it because you feel like you have to. Try and genuinely make time for it so that it feels joyful for you, that it even feels like something that you are doing for your benefit, something that is not maybe pampering, but something that is beneficial to you, because it truly is. But when you're sitting there meditating or praying and it feels like a chore and it feels like something you are burdened with or have to do, then I don't think you're going to get the benefit out of it, really. So that's just something to be mindful of as well if you are, as I said, someone with strong Virgo placements, because then routines can be very helpful and they can be useful, but they can also become a burden. So that's what I'm seeing in your reading, group 1. I really hope it was helpful. I hope it's given you some peace, some clarity. in your situation, and I would love to hear in the comments what you thought of this as well, whether it resonated with you. Please like, share and subscribe as well if you enjoyed the video, because that really helps out my channel and it helps us to get these messages to as many people as possible. Head over to Patreon if you'd like to learn more about astrology, whether you're a complete beginner or you're just looking to expand on your knowledge, because I am really looking forward to having discussions with you guys over there, and getting down into detail with astrological topics. And obviously there's all other kinds of benefits and rewards over there as well. Use the description box or the comment that I post below for all of my links if you'd like to get more involved in my work. Obviously Patreon is linked there as well, but I do have my Instagram page, for example, where you can follow me and get daily oracle cards in your feed. I've got my Etsy page linked there where you can book a private reading or healing session with me. I've also got 2 wish lists linked below for anyone who would like to send a donation to the channel. Thank you for your kindness. Just like the lovely Raj, who's got this gorgeous new deck for the channel. I have new tarot and oracle decks linked there all the time. I also have my PayPal link for anyone who wants to send a tip or donation to help me keep making these videos. Anything is really gratefully received and appreciated. So thank you to everyone who's considered doing that or considered becoming a patron. And we do still have a discount running with Modern Day Manifestations. It's very kind of them. They're giving us 10% off everyone's first order of beautiful handmade crystal jewellery. So if you use the link below, that will validate the discount code. And then once you've chosen the beautiful jewellery that you want, you can just apply the discount code VIOLET at checkout and you'll get your 10% off with free international shipping as well. So thank you so much to them for providing us with that discount. Have a lovely rest of your day, Group 1. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye. Hey there, Group 2. Welcome to your reading if you chose Ascended Master Mary Magdalene and Aqua Aura Quartz Divine Alchemy, and also the Circle of Life Tarot. This is going to be a reading. So we're going to get messages from your guides, your spiritual team, and of course the Ascended Masters. So we're going to look firstly at what this card means for you. So let's just take a look in the guidebook. We'll just read the introduction. So we bring you the blessing of divine alchemy. Divine alchemy is the art of transmutation, the application of spiritual consciousness to physical form, so profound that an entirely new form evolves. It is irreversible change. It is the coal transformed into the diamond, the lead of sleeping matter awakened into the radiant gold of consciousness. Successful alchemical transformation requires patience, courage, and a belief in the power of spirit above all else. The radical and permanent transformation effected by divine alchemy may seem miraculous to the outside viewer, the changed form. Yet the alchemist knows that when spiritual consciousness meets physical matter, the world will never be the same again. So this is about really radical, incredible transformation from something dark, something heavy, something negative, into something golden, beautiful, something light and bright. Okay, so let's see what your tarot cards have to say. So we've got the 8 of Wands. We've also got the 7 of Pentacles. The Queen of Cups. Then we have Justice. And the Moon. Interesting, there's quite a watery vibe to all of this, isn't there? There's three mermaids. 3 mermaids. Wow. So yeah, Cancer, Scorpio and Pisces are showing up here, as well as Libra. We might get some more as we go through the reading, but that so far are the zodiac signs that are coming up the most strongly. So there's definitely this message here of sort of change, and it has to do with the emotions and the sense of self is what I'm seeing. The number 8 is coming through quite strongly. So you've got, for example, 18, 8, 8 here. And what's interesting is also you've got the 8 of Wands and the 7 of Pentacles right next to each other, because they are very different cards. The 8 of Wands is about things happening suddenly and swiftly. The 7 of Pentacles is about needing to wait before something gets off the ground. So I feel like that's symbolic of stops and starts. And also to remind you as well that if you feel like, oh, I've made progress in my healing, and then it suddenly feels like you've taken one step forward and two steps back, please know that that's normal. Healing is not a linear journey. It's not like you just feel better and better every single day. That's honestly not the case. It's more like, I have the analogy of saying it's more like the Olympic rings logo. It's kind of like you start off and you start to feel a bit better, and then you go almost all the way back to the beginning, and then you make that shift, and then you will have something that pulls you back again, and then you make that next shift. And that's kind of what it's more like than a linear experience. But there's a lot here about your emotions and your intuition and how you feel guided in your daily life. So I'm really intrigued to see what your cards are going to say next. Let's get your oracle messages. Pisces is coming out very strongly because it's showing up twice with the moon there. There's also a lot here about illusion and your perception of the world, which I think might be to do with what I mentioned about the linear or ring analogy of healing. You might have been thinking it's just me that's weird and, keeps having these backward steps with regards to healing, but honestly, it's really not the case. I think that really makes sense why you've chosen Mary Magdalene, and also the blue colour as well. So you have Fairy of the Highlands, it's time to be brave. Number 20, that's a perfect card for you. And also Sea Storm, calm amid chaos, number 32. Not only is it a lovely message for you, but it's also that mermaid energy again. So calm amid chaos, that fits with the 8 of Wands, 7 of Pentacles vibe, because as I said, the 7 of Pentacles is waiting and patience, whereas the 8 of Wands is like a frenzy. It's like high tension, it's rapid change. So it's having the balance between those things, or being that calm, patient person throughout sudden and rapid change, not letting your frustrations take over you. There's definitely been lots of messages for the collective recently about coming out of one's comfort zone and how that might be scary as we enter change and go back to living again. So you have another Ascended Master coming through for you now, Hilarion, Divine Healing. Honor your sensitivity. Retreat to recharge and heal. Your light can support others. So yeah, you might be feeling very sensitive, very easily frustrated, very vulnerable even, but honor that. Don't get angry with yourself for being sensitive. That is actually one of your greatest strengths. Group 2, you are not weak or pathetic. Being sensitive is a wonderful, incredible thing that without it you would not be able to be a light worker. I'm not saying that you're all light workers. That might not be something that you resonate with, but if you didn't have that sensitivity to people around you, to emotions, to environments, to world events, then you would not be able to function as a light worker. You just simply wouldn't be able to do that. And we've got another Ascended Master, Kutumi, Cloak of Wisdom. You already know the answer you seek. Trust what you know. And look at the very clear, strong colours that are coming in. Green, yellow, blue, without a lot of contrast. There's no we're not getting many cards here that are showing lots of different colours, or that are showing colours that are difficult to work out. Very clear green, block colours. Patience, perfect. Yes, there's that 7 of Pentacles message. Patience. Have patience with yourself, have patience with the process. Patience is extremely brave. Horseman, Herald of Change, number 30. So like I said, change is definitely happening for you. It's not something that you can hide from or brush away or try to fight, because if you fight it, it's just going to be a harder transition for you. So it's best to allow it to happen and to be brave and patient while the external circumstances and even your internal thoughts and feelings and energies shift and change, and then see where that transports you. You also have Stars in the Sky, Limitless Possibility. number 51, which again is blue, and I think it's a gorgeous message with that horseman card. As you experience this change, it brings about limitless possibility for you. Really, really lovely. The Divine Masculine is coming through for you as Kronos, number 28, reaping. He's also known as Saturn in the Roman tradition. So that may also be to do with your Saturn sign, house aspects, transits, etc. So your patron deities on the masculine side are coming through as Kronos, Saturn. And as I said, we've got the message of reaping here. But what's interesting is that Kronos and Saturn is about a few different things. So you can see he's about time. He's holding the hourglass there. So time has that message of patience. And it also has that message of always moving forward. Time does not stop for anyone or anything. It might seem like you're stuck in time, like nothing's moving forward, but you can't fight that change. Time will always keep on ticking. It will always keep moving forward regardless of what you do. So that's a nice message for those of you that are struggling with being patient. Then we've got boundaries and limitations, which is what Kronos is very connected to. And Saturn as a planet as well, a planetary energy is of discipline and limitation. Obviously this is now bringing in Capricorn's energies as well. So this is about what you're able to do at this time and what you're not able to do or control. Then we've got the reaping message, because he is also a god of the harvest and agriculture. And in this particular deck, when I wrote reaping, I was really getting the channeled message that this is about karmic reaping, reaping what you've sown. So reaping the rewards of your hard work, reaping the consequences of your actions, whatever that might be. So this is definitely one that's going for those of you who have felt stuck for a long time, have felt like nothing has changed in your life and are now afraid of that change because it's been so long that you're not used to it anymore. You're being told that you will receive some kind of benefit or reward as a result for your hard work, as a result for your patience, as a result and benefit and reward for everything that you've done so far, the work on yourself, your healing, your kindness towards others. Sort of all coming back to you now, if that makes sense. Then we have Isis, past life. This situation involves your past life memories. So this is your divine feminine patron goddesses. And we also have Butterfly Maiden, transformation. You're experiencing enormous change right now, which brings great blessings. So really, really lovely. Isis, this could be where the reaping is also coming in with the past life messages, but it's always lovely to see Isis in any reading. She is a very protective force, and she's also intricately connected to alchemy. So it's lovely that she's come up for those of you in this reading, because you've picked the alchemy card. Obviously the Butterfly Maiden also has that kind of connection and connotation, because butterflies are the transformed result of an alchemical process. So you are this alchemical product that is changing and shifting for the better, that is going to experience liberation, growth, evolution in many ways. Protected by angels. You are cherished by the angels. What a beautiful, beautiful message. Archangel Michael there offering protection, but also, I mean, Isis, the wings of Isis make her inherently connected to angels and angelic frequencies. Isis is an extremely protective deity, and one of the reasons why throughout history she's been so popular in countries outside of Egypt is because she was a goddess who could be prayed to regardless of your caste or creed. She wasn't a deity who, for example, could only be prayed to if you were a king or if you were a noble or a scholar or a servant or whatever. She didn't care if you were the emperor or a slave. She would protect you. She would listen to your prayers. She would offer you comfort and solace and guidance. And so that was why she was extremely popular and continues to be so for very good reason. Isis will always listen to you, always listen to your prayers, always offer you protection if you ask for it. So Archangel Raphael has 2 messages now. He says, ask your body for a message. That's very specific. Dear body, please help me hear your messages. Archangel Raphael, please guide me in honoring and respecting my body's needs. So you might have been neglecting what your body needs in terms of nutrition, in terms of rest, in terms of exercise even. There's something that you're missing out on that your body needs. So listen to that. And then we have laughter is the best medicine. So this could be connected. Dear Archangel Raphael, thank you for reminding me to detach and find the humor and irony within every human drama. And that's definitely true. Sometimes we have to choose whether we're going to laugh or cry at a situation, and laughter is usually the best option. They both provide us with an outlet and an ability to release pent up energy and tension. And obviously we feel better after having laughed than we do after having cried, although obviously crying is important and it has its time. If we end up just crying all the time, we'll just feel worse about ourselves. So if we can consciously choose laughter, that can also be an excellent release of tension and stress. We have number 21, the right way, learning to create what you desire. So actively moving towards your goals, your dream life, your dream outcome. It does feel like you will soon be guided to take action, while there's this message of having patience and waiting for the time to feel right, or for you to sort of finish your, I don't really want to say ascension, but just your changes, your evolution that you're going through, because this is not just an external thing, it's an internal thing for you, group 2. You're changing as a person. Your energy is changing. That might leave you feeling very confused, frightened, or restless while it's happening. But if you can be patient and courageous and brave and hold yourself through that, and ground yourself through that, then you will feel so much benefit at the end of it. And that's when you'll be able to start taking conscious action towards your goals. So from the gorgeous new deck that Raj has sent in, we have Holy Grail, Inner Discovery, Finding Sacredness, You Are What You Seek. So Inner Discovery, that gives us this message of soul searching, of gaining insights from spirit, of understanding now what is going on within us, because you may have been confused as to why you are feeling this way. You may have felt frightened or restless, as I said, even sort of lightheaded, like you're not connected to reality. I've been through that as well, where I've just felt like there was almost a veil between me and the physical world, or between me and other people. Like I just couldn't be present in physical space for, I would say, about at least 2 weeks. I felt like that on an occasion that I can remember, when I was going through this massive internal change. So that could be how you're feeling, like there's this fuzziness, this veil between you and everything else, and then everything clicks back into place again, and you suddenly have sort of gone up a spiral in your ascension. You've gone up like a twist on the spiral. It's incredible. But I'm drawn to Katumi now, because not only does this card resonate with the color of his card, but it fits with this message. You already know the answer you seek. And this says you are what you seek. Trust what you know. Okay, so really trust yourself and have confidence in yourself throughout this process. Archangel Michael now says a favorable outcome. Thank you for the beautiful outcome to this situation, which is perfect and fair for everyone involved. Thank you, Archangel Michael, for helping me trust and have faith. Beautiful message. I'm really pleased you've gotten that. That's such a comforting message. We have the Love Witch, number 11. So issues of love, maybe having a favorable outcome or love coming to you. If that's something that you've been hoping for and haven't been seeing in your life. Could also be just, for example, an improved situation in love if you're going through a difficult time with your partner, or even someone who you love platonically, like a family member, a friend. If you're having a strained relationship with them, that can put a lot of pressure on you, and it can leave you feeling low level worried or anxious a lot of the time. It can leave you feeling stressed, restless, confused. So that uncertainty is going to dissolve, I feel, and a relationship will improve. The earth elementals say, Gönne dir Zeit zum Wundern und zum Staunen. Allow yourself time to wonder and be astonished. Basically, it's allow yourself this time for awe and amazement at what's going on around you and within you. So there's this message again of patience, isn't there? Allow yourself the time to go through this. Your ancestors now, group 2, say connect with water, ocean, water spirits, hydrate. Okay, so I mean, if we needed any more confirmation that this group is strongly connected to water elementals and to the water signs in astrology, then there we have it. We've got that confirmation now. And we also have explore your creative side. Visualize, paint, record. Okay, so being creative and getting involved with creative projects will be really beneficial to you. Also, the water, this could be where your body is asking for a message. Could be, I don't know, taking longer showers. Sometimes that, if you have it hot enough, can really loosen up the muscles in like the back of your neck and your shoulders. And that can be really helpful. It could be baths, swimming, drinking more water, obviously. We have King of Ariel, King of Pentacles, successful, stable, accomplished, powerful. Your plans are working out very well, professional and financial success, using resources wisely. So that fits nicely with our favorable outcome card. And, you know, benefit, reward, positive transformation, etc. All of that's really, really lovely. The King of Pentacles is also someone who is very patient. So that fits as well. And that brings in Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn into our reading. So let's just get you a couple more cards and then we'll move on to your charms and dice, group 2. Spider. Okay, that makes sense. Let me just read you your guidebook entry for Spider. Creator of prosperity through life's work. Dharma. The spider is an ingenious creator. Its greatest gift is weaving the thread of Dharma into a vast, intricate web that supports the spider and those around it, both financially and spiritually. It is hard work, but the spider neither tires nor becomes impatient. Wow! This card reminds us creativity is everywhere. Be process-oriented rather than results-oriented, and soon your work becomes like the weaving of a magical, priceless tapestry. Abundance follows. When in balance, this person is appreciative, enthusiastic, and prosperous. When out of balance, they feel discouraged, tired, and forlorn. To bring themselves back into balance, they need to engage in playful creativity. So, as I said, all of that fits very well with your reading. And the spider for me also carries connotations of manifestation, sort of weaving or spinning your own reality into existence. So it brings about that message of limitless possibilities again, as well as obviously this explore your creative side message and find your own way, you are what you seek, etc. And then we have last quarter moon in Sagittarius, practice gratitude. Okay, so being very aware of the things that you are grateful for and saying that gratitude regularly brings in more abundance. So let's look now at your charms, group 2, and then we'll do your dice. Okay, so we've got this love heart and then also the word love. So love is obviously a big consideration. Again, it doesn't have to be romantic love, but I think for a lot of you it is going to be. We also have the hare, which is a springtime symbol and a fertility symbol. And it is symbolic of being yourself unapologetically, like that phrase, mad as a March hare, just being yourself and not not having to apologize for that or justify that in any way. We've got the perfume, being attracted to something or someone, of course, being drawn down a particular path. That is your answer already. You have that knowledge within you of this is what I want to do, or this is where I feel pulled. We have teamwork, maybe with another person, or co-creation with spirit, with the hockey sticks there. We've also got this burden or weight. This could be what's being released through the alchemical process. We've got death, so that symbolic end, that pulling away from what no longer serves us, and the cactus. This fits in with the patience message and the holding space for yourself to grow, because the cactus is symbolic of being in survival mode, when you just focus on what you need, your basic needs basically, and then don't worry too much about the future or anything else beyond what your body needs and what you need to get through this next hour, this next day, this next 5 minutes even. We've got the dragon. This is a zodiac marker for people born in the Chinese year of the dragon, and it also symbolizes a very significant time in your life. You have the cartouche, which is lovely because you have Isis showing up in your reading. The cartouche is a rare charm to receive. It's basically symbolic of a double lifetime deal wherein you get a lot of divine intervention and protection. So in this lifetime and in the next one, there is going to be an awful lot of divine intervention and divine protection for you. So it's a very comforting charm when you do get it. And then down here we've got the Knight. The Knight of Cups, or the Knight of Hearts. Someone who comes your way in love, or someone who sort of comes to your aid to help you. This could be this King of Pentacles figure, or this is just suggestive of love coming your way, or of a really good friend coming to help you out when you need them. That really fits in with this message of teamwork that we got earlier in your charms. So let's get your dice on top now for your final messages, group 2. I love the messages you've gotten in your reading. So we're going to roll the third set of dice for you, the mystery dice. Okay. And we're rolling 3 of them for you. So we're rolling the third set of dice and we're rolling 3. So 3 is obviously a big special number. Maybe some of you are planning on watching group 3 as well. Okay, so we've got the portcullis, wanting to shut people out, wanting to protect yourself, protect your energy, maybe not let people know what's going on in your life. Maybe you are trying to go low contact or no contact with someone and you don't want them to know what you're doing. This fits with the cactus charm because obviously, naturally, the other meaning of this charm would be the prickles of the cactus that stop people from getting too close. So having a sort of barrier or protective field around you that prevents you from absorbing the energies of others or from other people from kind of, you know, getting too close or latching onto you. We've also got the pawn. This is where you feel a little bit disposable, or you're worried about how things are going to work out for you, when you basically feel like you're a small piece of a much bigger picture, which obviously is true. I mean, if you don't even need to think about the world. If you even just think of our galaxy, it's incredible how small we are. And then, you know, all of the thousands of other galaxies out there, possibly even millions, we don't even know, and expanding all the time. It just bends your brain when you try and think about the vastness of the universe. So definitely I think that's good to keep in perspective, because sometimes for example, I find myself really fixating on worries in my life, and I just stop and think, like, this is so trivial in the grand scheme of things. Like, it feels crushing to me right now, or it feels so extremely significant, and like my whole life depends on it. But, you know, even to the person that I pass in the street, this is nothing, it's meaningless. Never mind when we think of the context of the world or the universe. And that can sometimes really help to put things in perspective for you. It doesn't have to make you feel helpless or small, but it can instead, in a sense, empower you to think, do you know what? Am I still going to be worrying about this in a month's time? If not, then, it's probably not worth me worrying about it now. Or, how important is this really on a grand scale, etc. That can help you to stay calm about your feelings and your problems. And then here we've got the person who is frightened of the future, who sees something and is backing away from it. So this could be just another symbol of this fear of change and this fear of decision making and, who you might become as you grow and transform into more of your authentic self. But I really think the overall message is that you don't need to worry, because actually you are changing into something that you're going to actually quite like, and that you're going to be very happy about. So that is what I'm seeing in your reading group too. It's lovely to get such positive messages. Please let me know in the comments what you thought of the reading, because I'd love to hear from you. And please do like, share and subscribe as well if you enjoyed this video. That really helps me to get seen more on YouTube and to get these messages to as many people as possible. And of course really helps out my channel as well. Obviously, head over to Patreon if you're interested in learning about astrology, whether you're a complete beginner or someone who's just looking to expand their knowledge. I am really looking forward to having discussions with you guys on there and getting really down into detail about astrological topics and sharing what I know, and probably even learning some new things from you guys as well. So the link for Patreon is down below in the description box and also in the comments section, the comment that I post, along with lots of other links as well. Obviously there are other rewards, plenty of other rewards available on Patreon, so do check it out if you're interested in the work that I do. I also have my Instagram linked below. If you follow me over there, you will get daily oracle cards in your feed. I have my Etsy page where you can book a private reading or healing session with me. If you are feeling very generous like the lovely Raj, then you can access the 2 wish lists that I have linked below. For anyone who would like to send a gift to the channel, they have new tarot and oracle decks linked on there. And I also have a PayPal link if you'd like to leave a tip or a donation. That is very kind of you, and everything is really, really gratefully received and very much appreciated. So thank you to everyone who's considered doing that or who has considered becoming a patron, because it all helps me massively in continuing to do this work. And we do still have a discount running with Modern Day Manifestations, so if anyone would like to get 10% off their first order of beautiful handmade crystal jewellery with free international shipping, then use the link below, because that link validates the discount code, and then you can apply the discount code Violet at checkout to get your 10% off when you've chosen your gorgeous jewellery. So thank you so much to them for continuing to offer us that beautiful discount. Thank you so much for being here. Group 2, have a lovely rest of your day. Be patient with yourselves, be brave, take care, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye. Hey there Group 3, welcome to your reading. If you chose number 36, Ascended Master Mataji and Crimson Cupright, Relief and Repair, and then the Everyday Witch Tarot, this is going to be your reading. So we'll be getting messages from your guides, your spiritual team, and of course the Ascended Masters to see what messages need to come through for you. We're going to start out with this card, which I don't believe I've ever pulled. I really am drawn to the colours of it, actually. It's really beautiful. So we'll see what Ascended Master Mataji has to say to you. So we bring you the blessing of relief and repair. Our warmth and nurturing will restore and rebalance your body, mind and soul when the light of spirit burns too brightly. Spiritual light is like the light of the sun. It brings life and joy, but too much can burn. If that happens to you, you will feel overwhelmed, overheated, overexcited, or overstretched mentally, physically, or emotionally. We will help you recover and increase your ability to be exposed to spiritual light again in future without becoming overloaded or burnt out. We ask you to soften and relax into our rich red energy now, which nurtures you with the cooling, restorative life force of the Earth Mother. We shall help you naturally discharge excess energy whilst we revive, strengthen, and fortify you with our nourishing grace. Really, really lovely message. I know that a lot of people are feeling burnt out right now, or feeling overstretched in the ways that they have mentioned in that card. So we'll see what your tarot has to say, Group 3. Okay, cards really jumping out of the pack there. So what have we got? We have got the Five of Cups. Then we've got the Three of Cups. Four of Cups. Wow. 3, 4, and 5 of Cups. And then the Magician. Okay, so yeah, this Four of Cups is definitely showing burnout, whether that's physical burnout, emotional, mental burnout, etc. It's being shown here. You might be feeling very tired even when you get the right amount of sleep. You might be feeling, very, very drained emotionally, very like your head is buzzing all the time. You might be getting headaches. You might just be feeling low because your energy levels are depleted. The Five of Cups is also showing loss. Sadness, something maybe not going your way, or you just feeling low, maybe about world events or about other issues within your life right now. And then the Three of Cups in the center of this shows this lovely unifying, light-hearted energy. So Spirit definitely wants you to relax and actually have fun more. Like I just heard the word celebrate, because you can see the Three of Cups here, and in most decks is about celebration, fun, letting your hair down, relaxing, getting together and having fun. And in this particular card with the Five of Cups, she's not focusing on the party that's behind her. There's a literal party with balloons and food and drink, and it looks lovely, but she's not focused on it because she's so focused on the cups that she's lost. So there is definitely a message here on you needing to stop focusing on your worries or stop focusing on your projects that it seems like you're prioritizing over everything else, and just start focusing on doing some things for you, taking some time off. And then the Magician is showing your power coming back, you being stronger than ever and basically fortified and ready to give back. As usual, it seems like group 3 is my most spiritual reading in the piles. Wouldn't be surprised if you were a light worker, group 3, or if you basically try and live your life in accordance with the divine plan, or try to live your life as a light in the world. Three Witchy Sisters, the power of 3, number 9. How incredible is it that you've gotten that card when you have chosen pile 3 with 36? So it's not only 3, but 3 and 6 are both multiples of 3, and they boil down to 9, which is this card, and also 3 times 3. You've also got the 3 of Cups there. That's incredible. So 3 is obviously resonating with you right now, whether you're aware of that or not. 3 is the number of creativity, of expansion, of expression. This could also indicate things coming in 3s for you. Could also indicate things like you needing to take 3 days or 3 weeks off, for example. Sorrow, yeah, there's the 5 of Cups coming through. This feeling of I'm sad, or I'm upset, or I'm grieving, or there's a sense of loss that I'm feeling, but I'm not sure how to process it, or I don't have the time or space to put it to the back of my mind. Then from this deck we have El Moya, Awakening Presence. The universe is with you. Wear a cloak of protection and love. And that word protection is important because it feels like you are someone who gives of yourself very often. Like, from the feeling I'm getting from your energy is that you give every single day. Like, either you work in a job where you are naturally giving to others, like a healthcare professional or a counselor, or something to do with childcare or teaching, or just someone who provides help or love or care or advice or comfort, guidance every single day to other people. It doesn't have to be spiritually orientated, although it might be. It could be that you're always the friend that people turn to for advice. You're always the family member that people go to offload onto, and you're just sick of it. You've not necessarily run out of compassion, because I think there's always going to be that part of you that thinks, this is who I am, whether you're a light worker or just a kind person. But there's this sense of you that's like, at the moment I have no more left to give, or I feel like I'm just going through the motions because I'm not able to fully provide what's needed because I am depleted. So that's definitely a message. We also have Lord Ganesh, Infinite Abundance. Obstacles are being removed, spiritual support and connections are increasing. So that is a lovely, lovely message to receive, especially if you're feeling blocked or like you can't be optimistic, like you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. Yes, overflow, overwhelm and plenty, number 43. There's a 3 again. Group 1 got that card. So it's obviously relevant to the collective right now. Just feeling so overwhelmed with life, with your situation. Sorry, I dropped that card. Just with everything that you're experiencing. Wow. So, messages from patron gods from the Divine Masculine. We've got number 44, Sobek, fertility. And we have number 23, there's another 3, Hermes, connection. It's interesting that you got 44 just before Hermes, because the number 4 is the sacred number of Hermes. So, it's almost like that was preceding his arrival. So, Sobek, fertility. That makes sense with the number 3, clearly being on your wavelength. Because fertility is sort of another word for creation, of expansion, of expression. And so that fits with him coming out. Sobek is also what is known as an apotropaic god. He is a god who provides protection and wards off evil presences, evil spirits or forces. So this fits with the El Moria message, and also just this strong message you've been receiving about spirit being there for you to replenish you and provide you with that relief, that nourishment that you need. So Sobek, it's a lot to try and explain in just one quick reading, but Sobek is a god who I think is often misunderstood, and a lot of people shy away from him because he can look quite frightening. He's got the head of a crocodile. That alone terrifies a lot of people. People are naturally very afraid of crocodiles, and you know, they see him as a ferocious beast, which in many ways he is, and for good reason. But he's also the lord of fertility. He is the lord of again, trying to say this in a family-friendly way. He's the lord of seed. He is the lord of the waters of the Nile. So he's very connected to liquid in the sense that that fertilizes and the way that that nourishes us as well. So obviously the Nile was the water source for the ancient Egyptians. They didn't have anything else to nourish them, apart from rain, obviously, but that's quite rare. So the Nile was so much to them. And this, I think, is connecting to all of these water images that we're receiving. You've got 3 cups cards. You've got this overwhelm and overflow card of how water can be nourishing, and it can bring us vitality. It can bring us sustenance. It can bring us new life. But it can also be overwhelming. We need to have that balance. Just like this was saying that the light of spirit can be beautiful. It can be incredibly enlightening. It can be nourishing, supportive, but it can also burn us if we take on too much at once, that we're not ready for it. Kind of like if you try and run a really complex action on your computer and it frazzles it because it's just too much for the graphics card or whatever, the memory. It's just too much for it to handle. So there's this message here of balance between how much you take on, whether it's from spirit, whether it's in your daily life, whether it's from other people, and how much you then repair and replenish and nourish yourself. So Sobek is coming through with this strong, ferocious protective force, saying spirit is fiercely defending you. They're fiercely protecting your energy field. In fact, I'm actually seeing now like a person with these tiny little crocodiles surrounding their aura, all facing outwards, ready to attack anything that comes its way that's not in accordance with the wavelength of that aura. So you are fiercely protected by Sobek and by other spiritual entities. But he's also saying you're going to have chance to expand and to be creative and to continue giving, because that is who you are. You can't be held back from that. But just for now, you need to just take a little bit of a step back where you stop overarching yourself and stop giving too much, just so that you can replenish yourself and just give yourself the rest that you need, because you can't give from that empty cup. You'll just run dry, and then it means that also what you give to others is not going to be of service to them, or it's not going to be of the quality that you feel comfortable giving. So that's the message from that. Then Hermes, connection, messenger god, incredible deity, very, very versatile. He's pointing to, again, your desire to connect with others, but he's also saying, look, your connections, your ability to connect and to reach out and to find middle ground between people and to learn from people and give to others is exceptional. It's amazing. However, you also need to be careful that you're not taking on their energy. You're not taking on their problems. You're not taking your work home with you. All of these things need to be considerations. Wow, group 3. From the divine feminine side, patron goddesses, you've got Sulis, bodies of water. Spend time near water, such as a lake, river, or the ocean to recharge your batteries. I mean, that's just exceptional. And weirdly, group 2 got that message as well from a completely different deck, and it had nothing to do with that goddess, but they got that message about needing to spend time in water. And I said to some people in group 2, I think you're going to end up watching group 3 because we got a sign of that. So maybe that's for those of you who've come forward from group 2, as well as group 3, obviously, in general. Great adventure. Take a risk. Venture forward. There's the water again. Wow. I think there's definitely a message here of you needing to conserve your energy now, because in the near future there's going to be a chance for you to really go for it with something. Like I can feel almost like a sense of frustration of like, I want to give. Mentally I have the ability, but physically I'm too tired, or you know, physically I feel fine but mentally I'm just drained, or I'm emotionally held back, whatever it is. And Spirit is saying you'll have that opportunity very soon, but first you need to recuperate so that you can really do yourself justice when that opportunity comes to really shine and really give. Archangel Raphael says relationship. Dear Archangel Raphael, thank you for healing and guiding all of my relationships upon the path of love. That's interesting. That definitely fits in with what Hermes was saying there. Obviously Mercury, the planet Mercury, naturally comes out when we see Hermes. So that also brings in the energy of Sagittarius and the energy of Virgo, if that's relevant to you. Could even be that your romantic relationship, if you're in one, is draining you and you feel like you're always doing something for them and that they're not giving you very much back, or that you're always the one who is like the listener and they're the talker, and now you really need to be heard. And that's just something that you really feel. We have 9, curiouser and curiouser. So now we're getting back to the numbers. It's showing up again. Discovery, inquiry, weirdness, curiosity. And that's really kind of what I felt, was that you have this desire to push forward, or you have ideas, or you have inspirations, or you feel like, I don't want to be idle. I don't want to waste my time not making changes. But Spirit is saying, please stop for now. Please just give yourself some time so that you can then come back with all of this amazing ability that you have. We're not trying to hold you back. We just want you to be in the right space to give. Archangel Michael says, go forward fearlessly. Thank you for walking with me every step of the way, for holding my hand, giving me confidence and courage, and guiding my thoughts and actions in the direction of love and my true life's purpose. What a beautiful message. And again, it comes through with like that Sobek and El Moya message of you are so closely and so fearlessly protected by Spirit. Like you are working extremely closely with these beings, with these entities. You've also got a lot of divine masculine energy around you. So here we've got the Toil and Trouble Witch, number 14. I just read the introduction to that card in the guidebook. Like your familiar, the Toil and Trouble Witch knows that a friend, lover, or situation does not quite feel right for you. Your intuition speaks volumes. Be careful that you do not give power to one who may use it against you. Existing trouble and misfortune can be reversed into success. By remaining true to yourself, you will make the situation better with a lover, career, pastime, or leisure ambition. Okay, so that could be where the relationship message is coming through. Like as I said, you're not feeling supported, or you feel like you're the one who always does the listening, and now you're the person who needs to be listened to. There's something here where there needs to be a shift, where something's not quite working for you. Could be that you've been frustrated that a situation isn't working for you, but actually it will start working once you've had that time to rest. It's just because you're not 100% that you need to give it some time. You could even have been ill recently and trying to get back into it just that little bit too soon. Merkaba activation. Wow. Transcendence, ascension, you are rising up. This is the card from the gorgeous new deck that Raj has very kindly sent in. So Merkaba activation. The Merkaba only really shows up when we are already quite spiritually evolved, quite spiritually enlightened individuals. So that again fits with my feeling that group 3, as usual, is more spiritual than the other piles, or more evolved spiritually than the other piles. So there is this transcendence going on for you, and you are rising up. And it could even be that act of ascension and that act of evolution spiritually is draining you, and so you're continuing to just give of yourself like you normally do, but you need to actually be gentler with yourself and give yourself more rest and downtime than you usually would, because you're going through this shift. Your ancestors say be an open channel, mediumship, ancestors, spirits. So there it is again. You being very, very open and very able to hear what spirit is saying. The earth elementals say Beweglichkeit. Das Leben ist ein Tanz. So movement. Life is a dance. Sorry, don't know what I was trying to say there. Life is a dance, movement. Don't be stagnant. Versuche die Dinge in inneren Bildern zu sehen. So ist es leichter, die darin enthaltene Botschaft zu verstehen. And we have the earth elementals holding up what looks like cards here. So it says, try to see things in internal pictures, basically. Try to internalize it in pictures, for example, symbols, the collective unconscious, those kinds of things. In doing so, it is easier for you to understand the message that those things around you contain. So, for example, seeing things allegorically, seeing things in symbolism that we might see in folklore, for example, like when you talk about your emotions, you might be drawn to talk about the water, as we've seen throughout the reading. Or when we talk about creativity, we might be drawn to talk about the water, or maybe in terms of fire, inspiration, passion, or maybe in terms of the air, for example, communication, those sort of quick thinking ideas that come to us. Seeing things in allegory, like how we sometimes look at our life through the fairy tale lens, not necessarily in that disempowering damsel in distress kind of way, but just in the sense of like, oh, this reminds me of the tropes and motifs that is present within this fairy tale, for example, or this reminds me of the journey of this hero in this tale, or it reminds me of what happened with those gods in that myth. It's seeing everything around you, your relationships and experiences, through the lens of the collective unconscious, through folklore, through the collective psyche. That will really empower you and get to the messages a lot more easily. So then we have 2 of Michael, 2 of Swords. It will all be better if you just make a decision. Overanalyzing a problem, find a compromise. So that's definitely this message of just get down to it. Just don't waste any more time. Allow yourself to relax. Don't agonize over this should I, shouldn't I any longer. Your spirit animal is deer. It makes sense. The deer is very gentle. If we just find this within the guidebook now. Deer is an earth element animal. Loving, intuitive, graceful, the mother. The The deer represents the feminine aspects of earth energy. This energy is available to all creatures regardless of gender, but is especially potent in new parents. During the first few days, they are fully present, nurturing, and calm. Their inner beauty radiates, and a sense of grace calms the room. A deer personality affects others in this way, drawing them towards a quiet tenderness. The deer card may appear when a birth or celebration of new life draws near, or when a situation calls for absolute gentleness and compassion. When this person is in balance, they are receptive, compassionate, and nurturing. When out of balance, they are concerned or protective. To bring themselves back into balance, they need to spend time in nature or with children. This could also call for inner child healing. I like how that message of protectiveness came in again, because Spirit is feeling this protectiveness towards you. And then we have first quarter moon in Capricorn, unleash your kindest self. And it's being kind to yourself, being this deer personality. This might be how you are with others a lot of the time, this kind person who does everything for everyone else. But now you need to direct that kindness towards yourself, group 3. So let's take a look now at your charms and dice and see what they can tell us. We'll do your charms first. So this charm dropped on the floor, but it definitely came out. This is the Ace of Swords. So that could be going back to how we phrase things like creativity, as I mentioned before, through the realms of air. I like how the Ace of Swords, I've subconsciously put it on the Two of Michael, the Two of Swords. So it's like breaking that stalemate with decisiveness, with quick thinking. That also brings us into the realm of Hermes' energy again. So I like how it's all fitting in. We've got the cactus, this symbol of survival mode, being prickly, not wanting people to get too close, shutting people out, caring for your basic needs, not worrying about the future or anything that is beyond those basic needs, but you need to feel comfortable, safe, nourished, rested, etc. Just take that into account, and Spirit is kind of acting as this cactus, as I said, this prickly energy around you that stops people getting too close, or stops you taking on more than you need, or stops attacks, psychic attacks coming your way. Literally that incredible channeled vision of the crocodiles surrounding you. I'm actually now getting another channel vision of like a huge cobra surrounding you, like using its entire body to surround the aura. So that's another very protective, fierce symbol. Then we've got the kettle. Things that have been under the surface for a long time and are now bubbling up and rising to the surface and need to be dealt with. So things that you might have felt stirring within your psyche, within your body a while ago, and you've ignored them or pushed them away, and now they've come to a point where you need to acknowledge them. It's come to a head. You can't ignore it anymore. It needs to be dealt with. Also, I should add that not necessarily cobras, but Hermes is strongly connected to snakes. It is believed that he evolved from an ancient snake deity, and that's why he has the Caduceus, the rod with 2 snakes wrapped around it. So just a little interesting insight for anyone who's interested in that, because that may be where the snake is coming from. We've got the fleur-de-lis, the chivalry symbol, sticking to your word. So if you promise yourself now, I'm going to do this, or I'm not going to do that, or, you know, promise someone else, I'll do this for you and then that's it, or I need some time to myself, I'll be back on this date. Stick to your promises. Keep your word to yourself and others. Group 3, don't renege on what you've said you'll do just because you're feeling a bit bored with resting, or you're feeling guilty. It's really, really important that you do this for yourself. We have the Goldstone Ball, which is like the sun card in tarot. Optimism, faith, strength, confidence, energy, nourishment as well. Better times coming your way. And on the gorgeous Merkaba activation card, we've got the Cartouche, which is a rare charm, but it did come out for, I think, group 2 as well. So those 2 piles are obviously interconnected in some way for some people. The Cartouche is symbolic of protection. It's a two lifetime deal, basically, wherein you get a lot of divine intervention and divine protection. So this is coming through in this lifetime and then the next one that you experience. Now, it's interesting because group 2 had an Egyptian deity in their reading, and then so have you. It's a different deity, but you've got Sobek, so it makes sense that you would get the cartouche in this particular reading. So we'll look now at your dice and see what they can tell us. Group 3. Okay, we're rolling the 7th set of dice for you. Those are the Harry Potter dice. Okay, that's a 0, so I'm going to roll again. And we're rolling 8 of them for you. Okay, that's nearly all of them because there's only 9. Okay, so what have we got here? Group 3. We've got the chicken dinner. Okay, that's really important because that's about nourishing yourself. Literally, when we talk about those basic needs, just taking care of what you need. We've got Nagini, the huge snake. Wow. So the snake energy is quite strong around you. I can think of lots of deities that are connected to snakes. It's not just Hermes. Obviously, he's the one who's come out in your reading. But, for example, Apollo springs to mind as well. Lots of the Egyptian deities are connected to snakes as well. And Shiva, for example, as well. There's so many of them. So you might resonate with a different one, but it's crazy that Nagini's come out in this reading there. Nagini to me often comes through as well when we feel like we're transforming into something we don't like a negative transformation, or where we feel like we're cursed or we're having a run of bad luck, because Nagini was originally a woman who was transformed into a snake through a curse that was placed upon her. So, you know, this could be that you're going through this change in ascension, but it's causing you to feel restless or upset. You know, as I've mentioned, there's this sorrow within you, or this pessimism, perhaps, this low mood. And that could be caused by the changes that you're noticing. You don't know where it's taking you. It could be that you just feel so down because you're tired or you're burnt out, and so you're just like, everything's going wrong for me. I can't seem to focus, or I can't seem to bring my usual self to the table. So just be aware of those energies. We also have the potion, trying to change something or make something better. So I definitely think this will have quite a magical effect if you're able to do this rest. Then we've got the person who has been attacked, the person who's lying on the floor, the person who's had a spell placed on them. So there's that interconnecting message again. And that just, to me, literally symbolizes when you're on the floor, when you've run out of energy, when you've been hit by so much stuff, when you feel overwhelmed or burnt out, and you need some time before you can retaliate. We also have the person who appears to be hiding, crouching down, waiting for something to change or something to happen. Then we've got some characters. So we have Dumbledore, Albus Dumbledore, and I love that he's landing on the Merkaba card, because that was literally me saying that you guys are more evolved than most people spiritually. And of course, Albus Dumbledore is like this high scholar and someone that everyone turns to as a mentor figure, as a role model, someone who is considered to be very wise, more evolved pretty much than everyone else around him, because he's been through it and done that. And that's basically you on this spiritual level. That's not to say that there's not more evolution to do. Of course there is, but based on people in general, you are much more evolved than, I would say, 99% of the population. You're in like the top 1% is what I'm hearing. Then we have got, who's this? Neville Longbottom. Neville Longbottom is showing up. Neville is where we feel pushed out, we feel like the oddball, we feel like, you know, the odd one out. There can be issues surrounded with belonging when we get Neville, never feeling like we truly belong, wondering if people are actually our friends or how they actually view us. There's also a strong courage. And actually, when I saw this dice, usually I think of when someone's been hit by a spell that kills them or immobilizes them, like the Sectum Sempra charm. But This time, actually, when I saw the dice, I thought of when Neville was hit in I think it was the first book with the Petrificus Totalis charm, and he just becomes completely frozen and can't do anything. And so it's weird, actually, that you've got Neville there, because when I was looking at it from this, like, I couldn't see it very well from this far away. I thought it was Ron. So it's interesting that Neville is there, this whole needing that break, and it being actually enforced upon you by spirit. Like, you need to rest, you need to just do nothing for a while, or just take care of your basic needs and not be moving around doing anything else for now, because that's what's best for you right now. And then you'll be able to offer yourself more clearly in the future. And finally, we have got Harry wearing the sorting hat, which is this decision-making message when you're not sure what the best action to take might be, or you're needing some time to mull over a decision. So that's where our Two of Swords comes in. But literally, we're just hearing, break that stalemate. Spirit is literally forcing you to take this rest now, or to make these choices that are right for you. So really do take that seriously now, and consider taking time off work if possible, or trying not to take work home with you again if that's appropriate for your work, and just maybe even turning off your phone when you get into the house, just lying down straight away and just having time for you. So that is what I'm seeing in your reading, Group 3. Thank you so much for being here. Please let me know in the comments what you thought of this, whether it resonated with you. I would love to hear from you. Please do also like, share and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, because that really helps out my channel, and it means that we can get these messages to as many people as possible. Do head over to my Patreon and consider becoming a patron if you're interested in learning more about astrology, whether you're a complete beginner or someone who's just looking to expand upon your knowledge. I would love to hear from you there. I want to create a space where there's going to be discussion, and I'm really looking forward to going in depth into these astrological topics and sharing the knowledge that I have, and maybe even learning something from you guys as well. So I'd love to see you over there, and there's lots of other rewards as well besides the astrology features too. So that link can be found obviously in the description box and in the comments section below where I post my comment, but there are also lots of other links too if you're interested in the work that I do. So you can follow me on Instagram from there and get daily oracle cards in your feed. You can head over to my Etsy page and book a private reading or angel healing session with me. If you're feeling very generous like the lovely Raj, then I have 2 wish lists linked below for people who would like to send a new tarot or oracle deck to the channel. Thank you so much to everyone who has considered doing that. I also have a PayPal link for tips and donations if you would like to send something in to support the channel. Again, thank you so much. Thank you to everyone who's considered becoming a patron or considered donating to the channel in any way. And we do still have a discount running with Modern Day Manifestations, so if you would like to get 10% off beautiful handmade crystal jewelry, then use the link below to validate the discount code, and then apply the discount code VIOLET at checkout when you have chosen your jewelry, and you will get that 10% off with free international shipping. So thank you so much to them for giving us that lovely discount. And thank you again for being here, Group 3. Have a lovely rest of your day. Take care of yourselves, go and get some rest, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.